What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. This car has been sitting here for quite some time. Last time I drove this car, I took it to a car show and everything seemed to be fine, but I noticed driving to the car show and on my way home from the car show, the steering wheel was vibrating like crazy, and I thought it was very, very weird. I also noticed last time I did a drift event, the car handled very, very weird. Now, I did do bolt checks and I tried to find something that was loose. I didn't find anything loose. All the bolts were tight. But on the further inspection, when I took the coilovers off the car, that's when I realized they were broken. So ever since then, car's been kind of sitting there. Haven't been doing any events or anything because I need coilovers now. I don't want to drive it like that, even though I probably have been driving like that for a while, but it just got gradually worse and worse. So I actually found some coilovers for really cheap, and they were $100. So these I scooped up off Marketplace for $100. I'm not exactly sure what they are. They're called E36 or something like that. And I actually looked up the brand, and they're actually, looks like they're from overseas, like Poland or something like that. And they were like, I don't know, like 600 pounds, 550 pounds, whatever that converts to in American dollars. So I'm not expecting them to be amazing or anything like that, but I mean, it actually get the car drivable again. And you know, I'm trying to get some good coilovers. I'm trying to reach out to a few companies and see if anybody wants to sponsor, partial sponsor or something, and hopefully that works out in the future. But definitely want to get some really good coilovers on there one day. But for now, let me throw these things on there and at least have the car drivable, because right now it's not doing anything. And because of that, I started the sim racing channel, and I've been doing my drifting on there. So I've been getting my seat time on a sim, and it's actually really fun. So hopefully it translates from there to in real life, and makes me a better overall drifter. So anyways, let's put these coilovers on real quick and take it for a test drive. And bam, a broken coilover. That's my vibration right there. This thing just doing whatever the hell it wants. All right, now we're gonna replace them with these that are not broken. These are one piece. So let's put these on there. Also, not using the rear. The guy I bought them from drives a TI, and the rears are different on the TI, but the fronts are all the same. All E36 fronts are the same, except for sway bar linkages for M3. This does not have a sway bar M3 linkage. I do not have an M3, so it doesn't matter. And but the rear is not the same, so I'm not using the rear. He just gave them to me, so they're just gonna be like cool garage ornaments, because I don't think those work in the rear at all. I don't know if the different sizes, I don't know what it is, but I just know 318 rears do not work in non-318s. Damn. So I just finished the first side. Never adjusted the height for the coilovers, and just kind of left them where they were. And this is definitely lower than where I was before. I'm actually tucking front tire, which is kind of scary because that is definitely going to rip some fender. I'm going to add some camber. I might be all right because the camber is kind of, yeah, I can definitely go a lot more negative camber. I don't want a shit ton of negative camber, but for now we're going to do it, and we'll adjust height later. I don't feel like doing it right now. All right, loosen the bolts up so I can max out this camber. And it might clear. I don't know, we'll see. Put the rest of the bolts in. There's no way in hell. This is so much camber. God, it's gonna be like 7 or 8 degrees now. That fitment's dope though. That does look really, really dope. I'm gonna do the other side first, because the other side is way higher. So here's this side, and then if you go to the other side, way less camber, and obviously some fender gap, which I'm not mad at. It's a functional car, but maybe it'll even out when I put the other coilover on. So let's put the other coilover on, and maybe it'll sit more level, and it might be all right. Jesus Christ. Okay, first of all, I took these off and I thought this was the broken one. This is actually not broken. It's just, that's just loose. This is actually the broken one. You can hear that one actually rattling, and that's actually the broken one. You can see it's actually snapped off down in there in the abyss. So that's actually the broken one, and that's just weird. Anyways, after about 40 minutes, I actually got this thing finally adjusted. I think it looks great. I think it's gonna work. It does rub in one tight spot at full lock. I'll show you guys in a second, but that fitment is pretty on point. I like that a lot. All right, so that's basically full lock, and it does touch right here at full lock. You see there is a little bit of space between, like a credit card space, but I think it'll work. Right now I am on a driveway and it's kind of leaning downwards, and also when I'm drifting, if I'm mid-corner and I'm flooring it, you know, the front end is actually going to lift up, so that shouldn't be an issue mid-drift, but I don't know. Let's go drive it, I guess. Also, you guys should be proud of me. I finally bought a trickle charger, so it's actually been plugged up to the garage for the past 2 weeks, so it definitely has battery now. Of course I have no gas. Oh, I need power steering. Solid mounts, so I'm used to stuff vibrating, but the steering wheel isn't going crazy. Like I said, it used to bounce back and forth like this, and it was really, really annoying. But it feels smooth. I'm not gonna lie. It's like about to, you know, E36s are when they're about to overheat, they go to that mark, and the next thing you know, they just start climbing like crazy. So I'm just making sure it doesn't move. I'm a little nervous right now. E36s, when you don't drive them for a few weeks, when you come back to them, something's broken. different. Again, I said I have to do another alignment before I actually go somewhere and actually do an event. But for the most part, I think we're good. We gotta do it one time. Really paranoid about this overheating issue. I think it's fine. I really think it's fine. Definitely need an alignment. But it's fun to be back in this car. Alright. Every car works now. Every car works now. I fixed the vert. I fixed the drift car. Ebony's good, M3's good, the dailies are good, every car works now. That's awesome. Can't wait to get this thing aligned so I can get this thing to an event. Alright guys, well I think that's going to do it for this episode. Seems like we have a fully functional car now, so I really like the lower stance. It does actually look pretty good. I might raise it up a tad more, probably won't, but we'll see what happens. But now there's an event February 19th that I'm going to try to make, so I'll have to get this thing aligned ASAP. Also, before I do go get it aligned, I have rear camber arms I want to install. I had them set aside for the vert, but I don't think I need them for the vert. So this still has stock arms, and the negative campers still -2 in the rear. And I really want that 0, so it's really easy to break traction, especially when I'm trying to do the bank. Because when I tried to do the bank in third, I thought this car just lacked the horsepower and it couldn't do it. But when I drove Izzy's car, I did it no problem. So I think the issue is I just have too much negative camber. So I'm gonna try to zero the camber out there, then install the camber arms and go get everything aligned, and we'll be ready for the next event. So hopefully I have to do that next weekend. So, but thanks for watching. Deuces. All right, still sitting there. I'll see you. I'll see you in the next one. Yo, real quick, before you guys go, I just found a secret, and I didn't know. Maybe everybody else did, but remember I installed this little e-brake thing, for drifting, but of course you have to remove the e-brake button, so the e-brake no longer works. You have to put your car in gear. If you hold this cable and pull, it locks in place. Background's not moving, and you want to release it, just pull the e-brake up. I had a working e-brake this whole time. Wow. I feel stupid.